ever been a time that we need to take bolder, braver steps, it's this time to use all the internet, all the online space has to offer. It's simply a myth that people are just mysteriously going to find you and buy your art. The main ingredient of a successful purchase, especially when it's done online, is trust. Your potential online art buyer will be asking themselves whether they're making the right decision. And the more you can help them to take away those apprehensions, doubts and fears, the easier the transaction will be. But let's face it, representing your art on a cold flat screen is challenging. But once you discover smart tips and tools to showcase your creativity in the best possible way, you can start to turn those casual visitors into raving buying fans. Join me in the Online Artist Bootcamp, where you'll get all the steps you need to come out of obscurity and start to make your mark online. And no, you don't need to be a whiz kid or a designer to follow this training. At the end of the live session, I'll be opening up the floor to answer all your burning artist questions. The bootcamp comes with a comprehensive workbook and pre-training worksheets and videos that will prepare you to get the most out of this training. Go to www.soniasmallhere.com/online-artist and register today. There has never been a better time to take your creativity seriously and start to use all the internet has to offer to share it far and wide. There are many decisions in my life I regret, like buying that dress or changing my hair, but the decision to take my creativity seriously I'll never regret, and neither will you. Your art is a gift, and sharing it with others is a wonderful reward. In just 2 hours, the Online Artist Bootcamp will set you up with quick and practical steps to unlock more of your online potential. Head over to the Bootcamp site and sign up today. I hope to meet you in the training. So if you're worried that planning and all that goal setting will make your life dull and boring, I have some good news. The clearer you are about where you're going, the easier it will be to reach your art goals. And when you reach your goals, that will directly reflect on your bank balance, and that in turn will give you space to do wonderfully exciting things. Now that doesn't sound boring at all. My name is Sonia Smallhere. I'm an artist, an art coach, and a course creator. When I graduated from the Art Academy, I had learned how to paint and how to draw, but I had no idea how to earn a living with my creativity. I was not prepared for the life as a working artist. This often left me quite frustrated, sometimes on the verge of calling it quits, throwing away my brushes and giving it all up. But I'm so glad I didn't. After many failed attempts and valuable lessons learned, I've discovered ways to turn my creative dream of being a working artist into a reality, now giving me the freedom to live the life I love. I created the Help I'm Artist podcast because no matter where you are on your journey, whether you're just starting out or maybe you've been a working artist for a while, you too can take steps to turn your creative passions into a meaningful, sustainable profession. The Help I'm Artist podcast is filled with fresh inspiration, step-by-step practical insights, and interviews with artists who are experts in their field. If you're a smart artist or one in the making who is looking for new and exciting ways to get your art out of your studio and into the hands and hearts of an audience that's appreciative and willing to pay its worth, then you're in the right place. Happy listening. At the time of this recording, we're about to head into the fourth quarter. The what? Yes, quarter. 3 more months until the end of the year. Now this year has sprung us some surprises, but it's not too late to go out with a bang. So what can you still do the next 3 months to move your art and your art career towards your goals. Now this is important no matter where you are in your year. There's so many variables in your schedule, in your art life, and you can't control the outcome, but you can control your actions. You can make a plan. You can take steps. You can still make this year count and take action. Action that will bring you closer to your art dream. Many artists sadly never reach their artistic potential because they lack clear plans or have no vision for their art or for their art business. Making an intentional plan and having a clear vision is a huge part of your working artist success. So why wait until the end of the year? Why wait till next year to reclaim your artist success? There is still time to make this quarter count. We're going to get clear on these 3 things. Where are you going with your art? Setting smart, long and short-term goals for your art, and breaking down these goals into smaller steps that you can start to do today. Now you may be tempted to succumb to the lull of the times. You may be thinking, oh, it's just too late. I haven't sold anything this year, so why bother? Oh, the times are really bad. And who would be interested in my art? It hasn't worked before, and why should it work now? It's time to clear out those cobwebs. And don't wait for the end of the year, the end of the month, the end of the week to take intentional steps. You can start today to take those intentional steps towards your art goals. Do me a favor. Get out your calendar, whether it's digital or on paper, and have a long look. What have you planned for the next 3 months? What are you still going to plan? Even in these extraordinary times, you can still be planning. What do you have planned? You have more control over your artistic success than you may think, and it all starts with a plan. Because a wish without a plan is just that, a wish. Quit wishing and start to make a plan. Now that you're looking at your calendar, it's time to circle important dates. Are there special holidays, special occasions, special local events that you need to consider? And if you're in the 4th quarter, then you're probably heading towards the season of giving and cheer. This is a season when you can create that extra revenue for your art. That's if you do this intentionally and start to prepare. Prepare today. What can you make that's simply irresistible for your audience? Can you make reproductions or prints from quality photos? Sell gift vouchers for loved ones or friends to give as a gift? Or create a workshop? What can you change on your website to make it more relevant and inviting? Write down a list of your activities and circle what activities will bring you the most revenue during the next 3 months. Then choose one of these activities, whether it's a commission or a task, and start to break these down in smaller steps. It's time to get really intentional and to create some focus in your art and art career. Let's start off with those long-term goals. Where do you see your art and your art business over 5 years? Can you picture this? Where will you be? What will you be making? I call the long-term goals big, outrageous goals. Big, outrageous goals are larger art dreams, something that you aspire to. They may seem just out of reach. Maybe you want to travel the world or exhibit in a world-renowned gallery, work in collaboration with an artist that you admire. And it's these long-term, big, outrageous goals that take some time. They need just that little extra energy for you to get there. It's so good to have BOGs. What are your BOGs? Here's my BOG. I want to be financially free so that I can travel and work anywhere in the world. I want to paint, I want to draw, I want to write and make movies about artists and tell their stories. And do this all together with my husband. Slowly we are taking steps towards our BOGs. It's that beacon on our horizon, and all our short-term goals bring us closer to our BOG. Now, if you've stopped dreaming, maybe you've had just too many disappointments, failures, or you've suffered loss, and you find it difficult to look past today, I want to invite you to dare to dream again. Sit down this week and start to write down what you would like to see for your art and your art life in 5 years from today. Describe where you'll be. Describe what you'll be earning. How much art will you be making? Where will you be living? And if you want to get really clear, make a mood board. Either cut and paste and pop it on a foam board, or go to Pinterest and make a virtual board. And you can hang it up in your studio or somewhere where you can see it often so that you can be reminded why you're doing what you're doing. I've made a collage of my BOG and I see it nearly every day, and it reminds me of where I'm going. Now, these goals are not strict rules, but you can see them as beacons. That beacon on your horizon, that tells you whether you're moving in the right direction. But all these BOGs will never come to pass if you don't break them down into small, doable steps. It's time to set some clear goals for your art and for your art life. And you want to know a secret? Planning is something that does not come naturally to me. That would be my husband. He loves charts and numbers and planning. I'm the spontaneous type. I love to seize the moments, and I love the thrill of not knowing where I'm going. Now, this may seem super thrilling. Did it help me grow my art and my art business? Well, definitely not. It was only when I started getting super clear and intentional that I started to see structural growth. That gave me the freedom that I was actually longing for to do what I love to do. So if you're worried that planning and all that goal setting will make your life dull and boring, I have some good news. The clearer you are about where you're going, the easier it will be to reach your art goals. And when you reach your goals, that will directly reflect on your bank balance, and that in turn will give you space to do wonderfully exciting things. Now, that doesn't sound boring at all. Let's take a closer look. What do you want to see happen in the next 3 months? It's time to set some smart goals for your life, for your art, and for your art career. What is a SMART goal? Let's break that down. A SMART goal is aspirational. A goal must excite you and scare you maybe a little bit at the same time. If it's boring to start off with, you will never reach that goal. A SMART goal is specific. Your art goal should be linked with one activity, a thought or an idea, one area of your life, of your artwork. Make it specific. Then a SMART goal is measurable. Your art goal should be something that you can track and measure your progress towards. So it's not vague. It's not something that you think, oh, I'm just going to make my art. No, how much art are you going to make? Be specific and make sure you can measure it. When do you want to get that exhibition done? When do you want to work on that commission? When do you want to get your artist website done? Make sure that it's measurable so that you know that you can track your progress. A SMART goal is attainable. There's nothing more demotivating than not achieving goals, setting out with big dreams, big plans, and then not being able to achieve them. Make sure your goals are attainable. Is your goal possible to achieve? Is it realistic? Something that you can take clear actions and tasks towards to achieve. A SMART goal is also rewarding. Does it inspire you? And are you motivated to do it? And it's time-based. A goal that should fall within a specific period of time. So it's not someday, somewhere, somehow. It's time-based. Within the next 2 weeks, that's time-based. Within the next 2 months. So make sure your SMART goals are time-based. So aspirational, specific, measurable, attainable, rewarding, and time-based. That's what SMART goals look like. Maybe you need to learn a new skill. Is there a skill that you're lacking? Something that you want to learn to make you a better artist or a better art entrepreneur? Maybe the next few months, find a course. Find an online class and determine to learn a new skill before the year is over. Maybe you determine that you want to observe more. Slow down long enough to look around, to get back on track and train your eye not only to see what's there, but what's not there yet. Maybe that's a goal that you need to set to become a better observer. Maybe one of your goals is not only to share your art, but start to generously share art and artists that you admire. This is not only great for your SEO, but they'll be very thankful, and the chances are quite big that they'll be returning the favor. Now, it's good to plan, and maybe this plan is not something that you think about, but you can plan to fail. Yes, you heard me right. When you conquer that fear of failure, that it's no longer keeping you in its grip, you will find new freedom to express and to create. Determined to find ways to celebrate your messes. Enjoy your attempts and explore the unknown. Who knows where you'll end up? Or maybe you're someone who's always wanting to buy new art supplies. Yes, I have my hand raised. Do your art supplies determine your projects? Can you set a goal to only use the supplies that you already have until the end of the year? As far as that is artistically responsible, of course. So this is not only a great cost saver, but you might discover a new way of using your materials and be excited by the results. Plan art dates. This can be one of your goals. Turn them into concrete plans. Find ways to look at more art. Visit a gallery or take an art tour online. And then buy art. If you want to sell art, you need to invest in art. Art buyers become better art sellers. What art can you invest in this quarter? So take time to write down your SMART goals for your art and for your art business. What goals will you be setting these coming weeks? This episode comes with a worksheet. To help you set those SMART goals, I've made a breakdown sheet for you to download. With this practical worksheet, you can start to break down your art goals into manageable steps. Head over to www.sonjasmallhere.com breakdown sheet. Here you can access your copy of this practical breakdown sheet. My tip is to print it out a few times and choose 2 or 3 areas where you want to set some goals in these next 3 months. Think of areas like education, that skill you want to learn or the course you want to take, what's missing from your skill set, what do you want to master, and how do you want to become that better working artist. Or maybe you want to set goals for your lifestyle or for your health, so that you can get more energy to create, or you want to set goals for your art, for your finances, or for your art business. Whatever it is, you can break them down in this breakdown sheet. You can start to reverse engineer them and start to put them down on paper. Because there really is no better time than today to start to get super intentional about your art and your career. You can really be bold and buy a large planner. One that you can stick on your wall or spray on a piece of foam core so that you can have an overview of your year. What is your next year going to look like? Fill in those dates, fill in those important festivities, those holidays, and start to plan your year. What will your next 4 quarters look like? And for that extra help, head over to the breakdown sheet. That's all for this week. Join me for the Online Artist Bootcamp if you want to start to build a strong online presence and give your art the attention it deserves. Next week, I'll be back with another episode of the Help I'm Artist podcast. We'll be looking at something that artists talk too much about, but often have too little of. That's money. Next week, we'll be doing the money talk. We'll be looking at what you can do to build a revenue stream around your creativity, what you can do to get your art price just right, and how you can find confidence to have the money talk, and what smart artists are doing, and a whole bunch more. If you don't want to miss an episode, then please subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening to this episode, and leave a review, as this makes the podcast more visible and easier for other artists to find it. I really appreciate it. Have an amazing week, and I look forward in connecting with you next time. Until then,